Hello?
Hello, Dan.
It's me, man.
Hey, what's going on, dude? You are live right now on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation Radio. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you very much for having me on.
Fuck yeah, dude. We just got done blasting Bringer of Deadlight, and I gotta tell you, man, that shit is insane, dude. Like, what
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. Yeah, we've had a good reception to that single, and one of my favorite songs we've ever put out, honestly, so I'm glad you liked it, man.
Yeah, man. When that shit comes on, like, it's just, like, blasting open the gates, man. It's over, dude. Fucking just annihilation.
Yeah, it's kind of one of our things, is just to kind of hit you right in the mouth from the start and not let off. So, yeah, glad you liked it, man.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Hell yeah, man. So tell us how you guys been doing. Well, what's going on in the world of Crown Magnetar? I know you got this new record. It's about to come out, man.
Yeah, man. We got the new EP coming out on March 7th. We're really stoked about that. Like I said, the reception so far for the first two singles we put out has been great. We got to play a couple of those songs live on the last tour we did, when we did the headliner for the Unique Legion tour. And, yeah, man, we got a tour with Traitors coming up in, like, just a little over 3 weeks now. Actually, it's about a month out, but we got 3 weeks till we start really preparing. First day is March 6th in Atlanta, so get your tickets for that, everyone. And, yeah, man, we're stoked to be back on the road.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. And well, tell us about Unique Leader Records, man. How's it been so far with those guys?
Oh, it's been great, man. You know, they're honestly like one of the legendary heavy metal, death metal labels. And, yeah, we've been with them for going on 4 years now. Done our last, this will be our fourth release through them. So, yeah, man, they've been nothing but awesome to us. You know, we're honored to be on that kind of caliber of a label. They have a great roster. They always have. So, yeah, Unique's been great, and it's it's always been awesome working with them, honestly. So, no complaints here.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah, they got a really cool there's a lot of good bands on that label, man.
Yeah, man. They have legendary bands on there, too, and have had on there. And, yeah, it's just like just one of those labels that's always had a killer roster. They've had a lot of up-and-coming bands on there and that have started their careers on that label. So, yeah, us included. So, yeah, it's just been awesome to be with them.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, tell us, give us a little rundown for people out there that don't know, you know, like, give us a brief history on the band. Like, how long have you guys been doing this, and how did you get started?
Yeah, man. Yeah, honestly, I think, let's see, we've been a band since, like, 2015 or so. We played just, like, locally for a few years. I actually moved to Colorado from Maine in 2013, and kind of my goal from moving here was I just wanted to get into a band, and because I just love music. I had never been in a band before, and yeah, man, I made a Craigslist post, actually, and that's how I met our guitar player, if you believe it or not. I always love telling people that story. So yeah, I met our guitar player on Craigslist, and then me and him kind of met Byron just pretty much through on Facebook and shit. And yeah, that's kind of how the inception of Crown happened. You know, we had like 2 sets of just like unreleased songs that we just like wrote through jamming, and that was what we played for the first like 2.5, 3 years of the band. And yeah, man, yeah, it's kind of a funny story. Yeah, just the whole Craigslist thing. And like I said, we just played locally in Colorado Springs and Denver mostly, at the Black Sheep, and up here in Denver at places like Trailside Saloon and the Roxy and smaller places. And that's kind of how we got our start. And then, you know, we decided, hey, let's like actually put music out, like, and actually do this. And that's how we found our producer, who's actually now our bass player, Mike Som. He lives in Los Angeles, and he has done every record for us that we've ever put out. And he's honestly just like a diamond in the rough, great guy, killer performer, and just the best dude. But yeah, man, we had a really humble beginning just from those first 3 years of just playing locally and, you know, just kind of figuring out what we were doing, like, sound-wise, and, you know, just going through the ringer as a local band. We did a lot of DIY tours through those times. just booking, like calling bars and stuff all over the place, seeing if they would book us and finding bands to go along with us. And yeah, we did probably 4 or 5 small just DIY tours before we put out our first record. And even after we put our first record out, we were doing DIY tours still. And yeah, then we got our break, I guess you could say, when we got offered the Lorna Shore tour in 2021. And yeah, man, that was our real start. So yeah, we've been doing it for real for like about 4 years now, and yeah, never looking back.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Man, that's a great message for all the young bands out there that are listening. You know, just fucking don't give up, man. Just keep on going and fucking push as hard as you can, man. You know, like you never know.
Oh yeah, I'm super about that too, man. Because like I said, some people say they started from the bottom, but we literally started from Craigslist, which is I think rock bottom. So yeah, man, if you just got to find a group of guys who are, you know, trying to do it and love metal, and that's, you know, the first step to, you know, to really doing it is having a group of guys who are like super about it. So I honestly lucked out because Crown is really my first band, and you know, we've just been kind of slowly grinding and burning with an upward trajectory for the past, you know, 7-8 years now. So I'm very very grateful for that.
That is super cool, dude. And you know, I think that it's really cool, too, like the whole Craigslist thing, too, because that reminds me, like, I'm an old dude, so I remember, that reminds me, like, way back in the day, you know, bands back in the 80s and stuff would put fucking little ads in the local papers and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how they would meet each other. So it's pretty much the same thing, you know, but just digitally on the internet, but... Yeah.
Sure, yeah, man. I guess that's the late 2000s version of the local newspaper or whatever.
Yeah, Craigslist was cool, man. Is it even still? Is Craigslist still around?
I think it is still around. I think you have to I think someone like bought it out, so you might have to like pay to put some posts on there now, kind of thing. But I mean, thankfully, I'm not on Craigslist much anymore. But I think it is still a thing.
Yeah, I used to buy gear on there all the time, man. It was cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, back when I was young and figuring it out, I used to buy gear on there. I used to get odd jobs on there all the time to make some extra bucks. So, honestly, Craigslist is like my hero, like low key. So,
hell yeah, dude. Well, the name Crown Magnetar. How did you guys come up with that? Is there a story behind that?
A little bit of a story, man. Yeah, I mean, it's not too in depth, honestly, and thankfully, it was a good name from the start. But our drummer Byron, he had like technically started Crown Magnetar before Nick and I, our guitar player, met him. So he was like, yeah, I have this band that I've started, and like, you know, this is what it is. So that's what we joined essentially when it was like just a baby. But I mean, honestly, man, the name is technically just from Byron going through his stoner high school kid phase and like being into space and physics and stuff. But technically, like a magnetar is like a space thing, like it's like a type of neutron star. And you know, I'm not a scientist or a physicist, but you know, I read on it a little bit because it is the name of my fucking band. But yeah, it's pretty much just like a type of star that it's a very small star, but it has a very like intense pull of gravity, so it basically just destroys everything around it by just gravitational pull. And then old Byron decided to just put Crown in front of that, and you know, that's that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. Yeah, actually, I watch a lot of shit like the universe and fucking alien fucking shit and weird stuff like that. But now that you mention all that, it kind of clicks in my head, and I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm on. I don't really watch Netflix or anything like that often, but I watch like dinosaur documentaries and space stuff on YouTube like all the time. So it's kind of my chill TV time thing.
Oh yeah, dude, you can go down some fucking crazy wormholes on YouTube, man. There's all kinds of weird shit on there, man. I love it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a product of the 21st century, and it's pretty awesome. So can't complain.
For sure, man. So tell us about your like upbringing. Like, how did you get into music? Like, what was some of the bands that influenced you when you were young, man?
Yeah, man. So, like I said earlier, I moved from Maine in 2013. I grew up in Maine, in the middle of nowhere, in a town of like 500 people. So there was no like real music scene, honestly. There was no like local shows or any of that. Like the town I lived in had a tiny little grocery store and a gas station, and that was it. And yeah, my high school was like comprised of like 20 towns in the surrounding area, and we had like a little over 300 people going to my high school, I think. So I grew up in a really rural part of Maine, like central Maine, kind of near Bangor, if you're familiar with that at all, right in the center of the state. And yeah, my parents were big music fans, and I always was into music, but I never had a chance to get like into it personally. And actually, yeah, I played football growing up a lot, and the girl that I dated in high school, her brother was really into like metalcore and stuff like that. So that's how I kind of got introduced to like heavy music, like August Burns Red and Devil Wears Prada and stuff. And
Yeah.
that was like my entry into that stuff. And I always like really like identify with the really heavy parts of that stuff. And then that's when I discovered like Suicide Silence and Carnifex.
Hell yeah.
Like the Cleansing and Dead in My Arms, which I still jam those records on the regular. I was literally listening to Dead in My Arms earlier today. So honestly, yeah, man, it was just a really humble upbringing into heavy music. Just kind of discovered those two records, and that was kind of like the pushing off point where I just went down, like you just said, the wormhole. And I was just looking for all that stuff, and I found stuff like Annotations of an Autopsy and Despised Icon and Cal Decap. And yeah, man, I just got like obsessed with that when I was in high school, basically. And yeah, I went to college for a year in Vermont after I graduated high school, and I just was like, I was playing football, which was cool, but I didn't really know like why I was there other than that. And then after that year, I was like, this isn't like the path I'm supposed to be on. And I had a cousin actually that was living in Los Angeles, and I took my shitty Honda and I just drove out there to visit him to kind of just figure myself out or whatever. And yeah, I always went to Warped Tour growing up. Me and my friends would drive to Massachusetts to go to Warped Tour. And I drove to Los Angeles, and I stayed with my cousin for a couple weeks, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go home. And on the way home, it was in the middle of the summer, and I was going to be in Denver the day of Warped Tour. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stop in Denver and like go to Warped Tour, which was like cool as fuck. And I just had a really good time there. Just, you know, I was probably, I don't know, 19 or maybe, I guess, at this time. I'm 32 now, so this is a little while ago. But yeah, I stopped in Denver, went back home, and my dad was like, all right, what are you going to do now? You can't stay here. And I was like, all right. And me and my dad have a great relationship, but he was like, yeah, you need to get your shit going here. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to move to Denver. So literally drove back to Denver a couple weeks later, and I parked in the parking lot of a gym because I had just been in gyms a lot from playing football, and went in there the first day, and they gave me a job working at the front desk. And then I was able to back to Craigslist. I went on Craigslist and found this house to rent with these random people. And yeah, man, that's like the start of it. And that's how I got to Colorado, and then continued to use Craigslist to find the band. And yeah, man, that was pretty much how it started. I just kind of wound up out here in Colorado based off of me coming through here once, thought it was cool, and I've lived here for almost 12 years now, I guess. And yeah, that's how I found the guys in the band. And it's really funny, actually, because before I even found my band, I was messaging like random people on Facebook by like just searching local bands around. And a couple of the dudes I talked to that are still playing in bands are like, oh, I remember when you messaged me like 10 years ago to like try to get into a band, and like now you guys are crushing it. So yeah, man, I don't know, it was a lot of serendipity. Shit just kind of happened, and I'm really lucky because of that. And I know lots of guys are in lots of bands before they make it in the touring world and whatnot, but yeah, I just lucked out, man. I don't know what to call it, but I'm here now, I guess.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, vocally speaking, like how did you start singing like that, man? Like, do you remember like the exact moment that it happened? What were you doing, like singing along to some records or some shit?
Honestly, man, the only outlet I had for music is like there was no, like I said, there was no local scene or anything where I grew up. So, I didn't join like high school band or anything, and a bunch of my friends did, and I was always kind of like bummed out that I didn't because they were already like a few years into it, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do it now because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So, I joined when I was in 6th grade. I think I joined the choir. So I did choir and jazz choir in high school, and that was kind of how I discovered like how to use my voice correctly. And once I found like those records I was saying, like The Cleansing and Dead in My Arms, and I just kind of started going down that rabbit hole of vocals, and then I found like This Is Exile and stuff with like Whitechapel and everything, and I was like, this is the shit that I like want to be able to do. So it was honestly just a lot of trial and error, man. And it's funny, sometimes I'll like put on some songs from our first record, and like, I mean, I don't know if it's like this to other people, but I sound like an entirely different person on that record because that was the first time I was actually tracking vocals ever. So yeah, man, it was a lot of just like, I remember the first apartment I had in Denver, I went and bought this like probably like $40-$50 like little PA, and I just put it in my apartment, and I was just practicing on it. And the guy below me was like hitting the ceiling with the broom and shit. And yeah, man, I don't know. I just kind of figured it out on my own, just from trial and error a lot. And that's kind of what I tell people when they ask me about that, like.
He was probably like, what the fuck is going on up there?
Dude, yeah, and he was probably like he was an older guy. He was like probably like 60, so he was like, all right, this guy's worshiping Satan above my apartment. So not cool. But yeah, man, it was just a lot of trial and error with the voice. And I always tell people when they're learning vocals, I was like, you should use like people you like as inspiration, but you need to like find your own voice because everyone sounds different. So yeah, I think that's a big thing. And yeah, like I said, that was a big thing for me, and I just was I sucked for a long time, I'm sure. And after doing it for so long, I finally kind of figured out where I was at with my voice and my range. And yeah, it just took a lot of years to come together, though.
Well, it works, dude. You sound fucking great on this shit, man. Fucking hell yeah.
Thank you, man.
Hell yeah. I'm sitting here looking at the record right now, man. I gotta ask about the artwork, man. This is fucking, it's amazing, dude. Like, it's really fucking epic, dude. What the fuck? Who did this? And did you guys, how did you commission this? Did you give them like an idea of what you wanted, or?
Yeah, so Kalen Stokerman is actually, he's done our artwork for the past, this will be the 4th record he's done for us, I believe. And that dude is just insane. He does like all like I apologize to him right now if I'm misinterpreting this, but he does like the digital painting thing. And he's became a good friend of ours too, because he's come out to shows, and I talk to him. He lives in Cleveland. I talk to him online like all the time though. But yeah, man, if you go back through our last records, they were a lot more colorful and kind of just like this full picture. And I really wanted like to have a more like darker color theme for this record, especially with it just being 4 songs. I kind of wanted to like it being 4 songs. We wanted each of the 4 songs to just kind of blend together as far as like a vibe, and I wanted the artwork to match that. So I just wanted it to be dark and impactful. And I, like the record is titled Punishment, and I just kind of wanted to subtly give off that vibe, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Kalen works for Unique Leader Records, so we have like a immediate connection to him, which is nice. But yeah, we always collab about the ideas, and he sends us sketches beforehand before we get the actual idea going. And there's always like phone calls involved where him and I are going back and forth about ideas. But I just wanted it to be like impactful but simple artwork, which is why there's not much of like a background, and it's just this main character in the forefront. And yeah, I think it like gives off. I mean, it's so hard to do, man. Like, it's so subjective with like connecting artwork to songs, and I just wanted it to be something that was like painful looking, and yeah, I think we achieved that, and he killed it again for us. So
yeah,
very thankful for him.
It looks like a really old school painting, you know, like what you would see in like the ceiling of a cathedral or something, but like evil eyes.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah, man.
Totally fucking wicked, man. Fucking badass, man.
It's got that like Victorian era vibe thing a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is probably, it's so hard because he always kills it for us every time, but I think this is probably, I probably say this every time too, but this is probably my favorite art he's done for us, so shout out to Kalen.
Hell yeah, man. Fucking badass. So you guys got some tour dates coming up. You were telling us Atlanta?
Yeah, man. We touring with Traders in Yosemite and Black coming up here in a few weeks. First date is in Atlanta, March 6th, and we finish in Tampa on April 20th. So it's a nice long tour, good thing to start the year off with, especially on the back of our new record coming out. The record comes out the second day of tour, which is going to be fun. So yeah, and I know Traders has a new full length coming out too, like I think in just under 2 weeks, so it should be a good hype for the tour. It's a funny story about that, actually. Traders, when we were just a local band playing back in the day, and they were just kind of starting to tour, we played with them on one of their first tours at this. It was a pool repair shop, and there was a warehouse area that some local people converted into a venue, and we played a show with them there, which was super sick. So I'm sure we'll be chatting about that when we see them. So yeah, man, looking forward to it. Looking forward to releasing the record and getting back out on the road. Hell
yeah, man. Are you guys coming to Tennessee by any chance?
Yeah, man. Actually, I think that's like, I want to say that's, I'd have to look at the tour dates, but we're playing Growlers in Memphis, I believe.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I know exactly.
I can't remember if it's at the beginning or the end of the tour, but yeah, if you're nearby, come out, dude.
Yeah. We live in Jackson, so that's about an hour away, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, really excited, man. I just every time I have a day job that I work like 50 hours a week at, and I enjoy it a lot, and I'm grateful for it. But every time I'm back on the road with the guys and just in that mode, I feel like myself, kind of. So yeah, very much looking forward to getting back on tour.
Hey, we also have our own festival here in Jackson, too, by the way, man. The Tennessee Metal Devastation Music Fest. You know, I don't know, hint, maybe.
Yeah, man, when do you guys do it?
October, man.
Okay.
You guys got anything lined up for October?
We are in the process of lining some stuff up right now, dude, but if you want to email me and send me some more info on that, maybe we can make that, put that in the works or whatever, or maybe the year after. But yeah, man, we're down to, we're, like I said, you know, coming from Craigslist, we're a band that we just grind, and we're down to play wherever, whenever. I mean, some of our DIY tours, I remember we pull up to this place, supposed to be in this park, and I pull up and there's a guy like using a push mower to like mow over like 2 feet tall weeds. He's like, yeah, this is where the festival is. And we're like, all right. And I'm like, where's the stage? And it was this like shed that had like a wall ripped out of it. And I literally look over and there's a guy like shooting raid up at these hornets. I'm like, all right, this is going as expected. But yeah, man. Yeah, thankfully we're past that stage. But yeah, man, we're always looking to play shows. So yeah, just email me, dude. Hit me up with the details, and maybe we can make it happen.
Yeah, for sure, man. I will have my people contact your people.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, well, I guess I'm about out of questions, man. Is there anything else you want to let these people know?
Yeah, just keep listening to our new singles. The new EP, Punishment, comes out on March 7th. The tour with Traders starts March 6th. Get tickets if you want to come see us. It's going to be a great tour. Lots of sick bands. We got a bunch of sick local openers as well. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great night.
Oh, yeah, one more thing I forgot to ask. Where's the best place for people to go if they want to support you guys, buy music, buy merch, stuff like that?
Sure, man. Yeah, we have an awesome indie merch store. We have a bunch of tour leftovers and pre-orders up right now for our new record on there at Indie Merch and Spotify. Listen to us on your favorite streaming service. Wherever you can do at all supports us a lot. So, yeah, anything is appreciated.
Hell yeah. I just bought that shit on Bandcamp a minute ago, too, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, Bandcamp Friday, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, well,
Sick,
before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag real quick?
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is Dan from Crown Magnetar on Metal Devastation Radio. Check out our new EP, Punishment, coming out March 6th. Buy tickets to our tour with Traders. And, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, man. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Crown Magnetar for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
Appreciate it, Zach. Thank you so much, man.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, dude.
All right, dude. Have a great night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There you have it, folks. Crown Magnetar live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway. Do whatever you got to do, man. If you don't see U-Haul trucks everywhere tomorrow, you are not cranking it up loud enough, motherfuckers. Crank it up.